He had a complete draft of a book he'd been writing for years.
Tragically and unexpectedly, Ken passed away later that day.
But thanks to a group of dedicated colleagues, his book has just been published.
So join us as we refer to the world of Ken's ideas.
Referring to the world, next time on Philosophy Talk.
Listen to Philosophy Talk today at noon on KSJE 90.9 FM, Farmington. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury. San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. 11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, July the 27th, 2021. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in. KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado. And streaming everywhere on Earth from our website, including to your smart speaker at ksje.com. Welcome also to our viewers who are watching this visual radio program. The video is streaming live right now to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter account. We're glad that you are with us, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Coming up this morning, we are talking about early childhood education with my guests from the Child and Family Development Center right here at San Juan College. Some exciting news to share about reopening this fall and some of the plans that they have, and so that's coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then later on this hour, we'll check in with Amber Francisco over at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. She'll be telling us about some of the pets available for adoption this week, and of course, if you're watching the video, you'll be seeing some of the pets available for adoption this week, so stay tuned for that coming up today, 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. And then, of course, our attention turns to the Connie Mack World Series. KSJE is the radio home of the Connie Mack World Series this year, and so our coverage begins with the 10 o'clock game, the Majors versus the Frackers at Ricketts Park. You'll hear that live this morning on KSJE. Then at 1 p.m., it's the Renegades versus the Redskins out at Ricketts Park. Live coverage begins at 1. Our afternoon game at 5:15 is the Legends versus DBAT United. You'll hear that coming up this afternoon. And then this evening, of course, it is the Farmington Sting versus the Dodgers at 7:30 right here on KSJE. So we hope that you will stay tuned for all the games coming up today live on the radio. And, of course, we invite you to connect with us on our social media pages, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and don't forget about Instagram as well. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, partly sunny skies this morning, 66 degrees outside our studios at the moment. We're expecting another partly sunny day today, another chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm. 87 for a high in Farmington today, 65 overnight, 90 for a high tomorrow, 89 on Thursday, and 87 on Friday, mid-80s on Saturday and Sunday. Still that chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm in the forecast, which really does a number on the baseball schedules, let me tell you, when they have to delay for a few minutes because of lightning or rain showers. But that's the plan for today, and right now 66 degrees outside our studios. Let me introduce my guests who are here with me this morning, as I mentioned, to talk a little bit about early childhood education from the San Juan College Child and Family Development Center. Fran Nakai is here. Good morning, and thank you for coming into KSJE. Good to have you here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us, Scott.
You bet. Great to see you. Also joining us in the studio, Tanisha Batoni is here. She is an infant lead teacher at the Child and Family Development Center. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. And also, Tash Barnes is here as well, a preschool teacher. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you all for coming in to talk with me a bit about early childhood education and the center that's right here, literally down the hall and out the door here at San Juan College. So great to have you all here. Let me start with you, Fran, about the Child and Family Development Center. And the whole reason that we started talking about getting you on the show was a big grant that you had applied for and got. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, Scott. We applied for the New Mexico Pre-K grant in May, and were awarded in in June, and this is actually a really big grant. It's a 4-year grant. The total was over $1 million, which is definitely going to support our program. It provides childcare for 30 3 to 4-year-olds in our program. So it's a great opportunity. We can get new classroom materials. We provide the tuition for free for those families as well through this grant. A lot of renovations and just some upgrading on our program. So we're really excited about it.
Congratulations. And you mentioned this is a multi-year grant,
Yes,
correct?
It's a 4-year grant.
Wonderful. And so you also mentioned that you're going to provide some of these services for free for
Yeah.
parents and families. And I think that's really important too.
Yes, it is. The tuition will be paid by the state of New Mexico through the grant.
Right, which is important. And
Yes.
so talk to me a little bit about then the other services that you provide over at the Child and Family Development Center in addition to this.
We do have an infant toddler program, a toddler twos program, and then our preschool program. And we offer childcare from 7:30 to 5:30 for our students, our San Juan College students, and then San Juan College staff. And then we also have some community member slots as well.
Very good. And let me talk to the teachers a little bit too who are with us this morning and ask a little bit about your jobs that you have. And Tanisha, talk to me a little bit about being an infant lead teacher. Does that mean you're dealing with the very youngest of the young kids over there?
Yes.
At the center?
Yes, we start at 6 weeks. We can start from anywhere between 6 weeks all the way up into a year old and a little older from that. We right now we're in our summer program where we do accommodate for families. Right now we're accommodating for 6 families in our infant program.
Right.
And definitely we'll be able to support and help all the families that that come in. And with it one thing that I noticed for the summer that it has been great that we've been able to invite our families in, especially with the COVID procedures that we have to follow. We had a drop-off method, and just being able to see the families one-on-one has been we've been really excited for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And this grant will affect your classes as well, or some of the things that you do?
In connections with families, we're hoping to support the families who are coming in with the pre-K children. If they have siblings, we definitely will be able to support those families.
Right. All right. I'll come back to you in just a minute. Thank you very, very much. And Tash, let me turn to you a little bit about your work as a preschool teacher. You're dealing with some of the older children then, correct?
Yes, we have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Okay. And so talk to me a little bit about the programs for them.
Oh, I'm so excited to see the new renovations. We're going to get a new playground. We're getting new additions in our classrooms. That's going to be so good for the kids. We do lots of exploration here on the campus.
I think I might see some of that when you guys
Yeah,
are
you
out
probably
and
do,
about.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fun to see.
And we take them out in where the natural flora is, and let them explore. We take our magnifying glasses and look at all the bugs and, whatever we can find to see. Yes, outside, all we can, because that's my world. I like it outside.
Right. Very fun. That's great. Go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
Yeah, no.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's awesome. And so talk to me, all of you, a little bit too about the importance of early childhood education, because I think that's another thing that we hear about, and folks have different opinions about it, of course. But I know all of you are very pro early childhood education. It seems like kids are learning more quicker and being asked to learn more and dealing with a lot more even as they get older. Fran, let's start with you a little bit about kind of the importance maybe of early childhood education, of helping kids, especially when mom and dad are working or busy or out of the house, right?
Definitely. So our program at the CFDC is really a play-based program. So our focus is children learning through play, learning through the experiences and the interactions that they're having with their peers, with their teachers, and then just the different experiences the teachers are providing, just like Ms. Tash shared about outdoor experiences. We want to focus on their interests and follow their lead. We're very child-directed in our program, so our lessons change from day to day in regards to following where they're at and supporting them and helping them
Sure.
learn concepts and new milestones.
Right. And is this curriculum used by other centers across the country? Is it accredited and things like that and stuff that you've been studying and adopting?
Yes, we are a NACE accredited program, which is one of the highest accreditations you can have in childcare, and we've had that accreditation since 1990, and we are up for reaccreditation next year, so we're getting ready for that.
And that's important. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I
No.
just think for the audience, that's a really important thing because not every center has that level of accreditation.
Yes,
even
I
in
believe
New
there's
Mexico.
4. There's about 4 in San Juan County.
Okay.
4 or 5. When we had to do our research for this grant, we had to kind of get all the numbers and everything. So that's definitely a plus for our program, and we definitely like to talk about it and make sure people understand that accreditation and how important it is. We will be using the FOCUS curriculum, which is used throughout the state. The New Mexico Early Learning Guidelines is what we use in our classrooms for milestones. Our curriculum is based off of that, and other centers use it as well too. A lot of the pre-K programs do use that program as well, and we use it in our practicum courses, so teachers are familiar with it as they're getting ready to go into the workforce, our students. So.
Very good. Thank you. Tanisha Batoni, I want to come back to you because you were talking about involving some of the families, bringing them in and with the children. And that's a really important part, I think, about education, too, is getting mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, whomever is in the child's life, involved in their education.
Yeah, definitely. One of the key assets to our program is parent relations and creating a bond with not only the child but the family as well. We do use an app. It's called Learning Genie, and that's kind of our way to support the families within. For example, if your child is doing an activity, we want them to be part of that activity. So what we do is document that in video or a photo or even a message and saying that this is what your child is doing, and then basically they're at work, wherever they are, and they get that update. With in the infant program, this goes with feedings, diaper changes, any kind of concerns, different kind of activities that they're doing. They get that in real time. So if your child had a bottle, we'll make sure that they know like in real time so they can kind of see their schedule throughout the day. And especially for our breastfeeding moms, they're able to kind of see where their feeding schedule is, and then they'll kind of message, okay, so I'm going to come in at this time, and they'll work their schedule around that. So parent connection is very important to us, so we just definitely want to make sure they're part of their child's day, even though they have, duties to attend to.
Right. That's interesting. And I would think for maybe new moms and even new dads, it may be hard to send your littlest of little child off for the day while you have to go back to work. That's just the reality of life these days.
Yes.
And so getting those pings every so often from the app is helpful and reassuring to mom and dad.
Yes, definitely.
Very, very good. Thank you. And Tash Barnes, let me come back to you. You mentioned about bringing the kids around on campus and doing some exploring. And again, we talked a little bit about how learning can be snuck in. That you guys are really sneaky when it talks about learning and fun and things like that, because the kids are having fun, yet they're learning at the same time. And that's an important thing as well, I think, that even though you're out looking at bugs and checking out some of the things on campus here, there's also some learning going on, obviously, as well with the kids.
Oh, yeah, the science aspect of it. We are going in the spring, like we're looking at the flowers and when they're starting to bud out, and then, we go back a little bit later and we see, wow, they're bloomed out completely and there's more of them in different colors. And we will take clipboards with paper and pencil and let them draw pictures of it, just sitting there and drawing right in front of them. And they really, really enjoy that. And a lot of times we'll take a little snack out there with us, have a little picnic, and when there was mud puddles out here by the, it's the drama circle out in front of the theater, the old theater.
The little theater, sure.
Yes,
the little theater, the new Connie Gotch Theater, right, exactly, the little quad we have.
They did water angels out there in the mud puddles, or the water puddles, because it was fun, And we've got clean clothes. They bring an extra set of clothes, we can just change, so they play. And, like Tanisha was talking about, it's so nice for where we're our location for the college students, because they can come over, they can hang out, they can watch. We have two-way mirrored windows, and so they can come watch their child what they're doing through the day, and their kids don't even know they're there. So that's really cool, because they act totally different if they don't know mom and dad's there.
That's right. I imagine that doesn't go away ever,
yes.
no matter how old you are.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yes, and I think getting to know the parents is really, really nice, because when you bring in that family aspect, you know about what's going on at home, and a lot of times we have very young parents. And we find ourselves advising parents on, okay, you need to go on with this class, or sometimes we're just the encouragement they need to keep going, because their babies are safe with us, and if they need to come over and hang out, we've got a parent resource room where they can come and do their homework over there. And, if their babies need them, they're right here. We can call them. They're there in 5 minutes.
Right.
That is really cool.
That's a great plus, I know, of having the center right here on campus, and that is another service that's provided to students here at San Juan College. If they do have a child and you have room, they can have their child over at the center. Tanisha Batoni, I saw you nodding your head as Tash was talking. She made some good points, didn't she?
Yes, she definitely did. I was kind of relating it back to the infant program. What we definitely do is utilize the campus to bring the children out to explore. We do go on walks with them, and nature walks as well, and we definitely like to take them out on the grass and do some kind of water activities. We get into the water and the puddles as well. We definitely want them to feel the nature and feel their community. We want them to feel like they're a part of the college community, even though they're really, really little. They're part of this college family.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of sights and sounds and different things that are going on here on the campus, even in the weird year that we have had, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, of coming out of COVID and some of the things you have planned for the fall. But I think it's important, that the older students see the kids running around campus with you all, with their teachers, and discovering and learning. And, it's all a very supervised outing, but you can tell that they're little sponges. They're really just absorbing everything, at least to me. When I walk by and see you all on campus, you can just tell the kids are just absorbing everything, whether it's the grass or the sights or the sounds or whatever it is that they're doing.
And definitely the people. We always get the waves. Everybody's always excited to see the babies or the children. They'll always wave. And so if you ever see us on campus, definitely wave.
That's true.
We love it.
Say hi, they love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very good. That's true. Wonderful. Well, let me go back to you, Fran, and ask you a little bit about some of the plans for the fall. Again, I know things are changing, and it's hard to maybe say how things are exactly going to be, but you have some recommendations from the state, and that is kind of what you've been following all this time. And so what are you planning for in the fall after your summer programs end?
Well, we're going to be opening up on August 23rd is when we get kiddos back in the building. Majority of our rooms are full. Our pre-K program is completely full, which is great. We had returning families sign up, as well as families that had left pre-COVID, before COVID, and then are returning again now. So it's nice that they're coming back, and then we have some new families coming in as well too. So we're really excited about enrollment and getting a full building, because we are able to still, we were given the okay to open at full capacity. We do have some guidelines still in regards to social distancing. Our staff still have to wear masks in the building. Children over 3 years old have to wear a mask. The only time they don't is during nap time, eating, or going outside. A lot of sanitation, a lot of cleaning. We're still not combining groups at the moment, and that's kind of where we're going to continue to do that. Children and staff stay in their own rooms for the most part. That's the latest we've got on the guidelines and everything. Parents are able to come in the building, but it is very specific to dropping off and picking up, and it's one parent per per family when they're coming in the building, just to come in, sign their child in. They don't enter the classroom, but they do stand at the door and a teacher greets them, so they can still have a conversation with their child's teacher. Anything other than that, there's still Zoom meetings, phone calls. We do Learning Genie a lot. So that's been really helpful, is having that app to kind of keep up that communication. We'll be doing some more virtual STEM nights. Tash talked about our family resource room, which was refurnished through a grant. We do have a grant called C Campus, and it's childcare access means parents in school. So that's a pretty big grant as well. We got that for 4 years. We're on our 3rd year now in that grant. And that supports with like childcare tuition for our families. That room, that's a study room for them. Also, we got new buggies that Tanisha was talking about with the infants going out on campus. And they're very nice. We really love those new buggies. And then also, the C Campus Fund supported those STEM nights with Explora from Albuquerque. So we'd plan those, we get the kits, and then we deliver them to the families. They pick them up, and they'd all log in the evenings to do those workshops. So we're going to continue that and still find ways to be a part of the campus virtually. We've done some read-alouds through Zoom. The kids love the big screens and the projectors and everything, so that's been nice. But yeah, we're just trying to keep going and be creative and think outside the box in ways to still get our families in the building and still be a part of the community.
Sure, but this fall's going to be different than last fall. For sure, right?
Yes.
You're opening up a bit more.
Yes, we are.
And able to do a bit more with your kids.
Yes, so we'll be able to go out on campus more. Our families can come in for a limited amount of time, but we're hoping that maybe that'll change in the future a little more, but still just being open to some different things with the families.
Sure, and doing it safely.
Yes, of course.
Which you mentioned, which is really important. And teachers, let me turn to you too and ask again, kind of same thing about some of these COVID safe practices that we've been hearing about, and how you did through the last year, and how things are maybe changing in your classrooms, looking into the future. Tanisha Batoni, can we start with you and talk a little bit about that? How was last year compared to maybe what you're planning for this year?
Last year definitely was a bit different. We did have to shut down completely, and we were supporting families virtually, online, and we're able to find ways to bring the classroom to the home, which was really exciting. We had a bunch of Zoom sessions. I was actually in the preschool program at that time, so I was able to support the preschool families with different activities, and we would log on for Zoom every now and then. Was it like twice a week?
Yes.
It wasn't too much, but so
Sure.
right now is, I think it'll be different because families are coming in, like she said, and we're able to do the face-to-face as opposed to Zoom conferencing, things like that.
Right, very true. And Tash Barnes, same question to you, a little bit about the changes for you, I imagine. Did you do a lot of Zoom events last year? And
We did. We brought Zoom to the reading area when we were reading. Moms and dads could hang out, and see what their kids were listening to. We do, because we read books at least twice a day, sometimes more than that. And when they lay down and take a nap, we're listening to a read aloud on the computer, so that that chills them out a little before they take a nap. We turn on soft music, so parents like to know what their babies are doing, and it's good. And it is so cool because I'm hoping this year we can go back to, going and visiting the infants classroom and toddlers, and like I'll go read a book to them, and my kids, they're all just big kids, and they show them how you sit at the rug and things, and so that's really cool. And we like for the kids to socialize with the other children, with the little babies and things. And hopefully that's going to open up this year, and we can go back to doing that again.
right, understood. And it really does mean a lot, I guess, when a child maybe see what an older kid is doing,
Yes.
and it probably has more impact maybe than from an adult telling them to do it the same thing.
Exactly. Well, and that's one of the advantages having a 3, 4, and 5-year-old classroom. The 3-year-olds learn from the 5-year-olds, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, I need to stand here, and wait with them. or lots of times they learn lots of things from them. And when Fran was talking about we got those new buggies, well, preschool got the boxes. That was cool. The big boxes were huge. Yeah, they were fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, some things never go out of style, don't they?
Right.
Playing
yeah.
with the box that the toy came in, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. The other thing I want to make sure our audiences understand, though, is that the Child and Family Development Center is also a learning center as well for some of the educational programs here at San Juan College. And Fran, I think that's an important thing to mention, right? Is that you have a lot of students who are learning their craft and learning how to be early childhood educators there at the center.
Yes. So one thing that is changing this semester is that we are allowed to have practicum students in our building now. Versus last year, everything was virtual for our practicum students, which was really difficult. We had to really be creative in a lot of the things we did with them, and we had to collaborate with a lot of different programs around the state as well to be like, what are you doing here? How are you working this out? How are they getting their hours? How are they implementing lessons? So now we're really excited that they're able to come into the building. They do have to comply with the state background checks from our licensing organization, what they require, as well as COVID screenings, things like that in regards to testing that all our staff have to do. They have to complete a training. It's like a 3-hour training on COVID safety practices that they have to have in their file. But we're just excited to get them back in the building. I have a few this summer.
I bet they are too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a few that are in the building working now with the students. And I have a clear volunteer, and then we're going to have some NMHU practicum students coming in to support as well too. So we're really excited that we're going to be opening up the doors more, and then just making sure we're following those protocols.
Right. And teachers and everybody for that, I mean, for hands-on learning, I mean, I think there's got to be nothing to substitute for being able to observe and see how kids are reacting and acting in the classroom and how they are impacted by certain things and what lessons work and what lessons maybe don't work so well. What would you say to that?
Yeah, definitely. It's that's one thing I love about the school is that it's a learning environment for everyone, not only children but parents, families, and students around campus who have a passion for this area of study. Definitely they can learn from us and learn alongside us at the same time. And they can get their feedback from an educator in real time, what's happening right now, and they can take notes, like with the observation room, like what Tash was talking about. They utilize that room too. And I have a practicum student I'm working with, she's from Arizona, on Zoom. So we've kind of learned through this pandemic that we're able to help, outside students as well. Even though they can't come to the classroom, we love them in the classroom, but at the same time, if we need to help those students, we're able to understand that the students can come into our classroom virtually as well. So, yeah.
That's great. And Tash Barnes, same question to you when dealing with some students from San Juan College or some of the other educational institutions that the college works with, and coming into to see how things are done in your classroom.
Yes, the kids really loved having the practicum students because they're young and they got lots of fresh energy, and they're so excited to be there. And sometimes, it's good for us too. They come and watch us for a while before they start doing their lesson plans, and they get to see us fail too, because we'll tell them, "Oh, okay, that was a no-go, so we won't do that anymore." Because it's real, and
right.
And everybody can mess up, and it's okay. You just go back and try again.
Right. Well, and I would think maybe another classroom of other students may react completely differently to what another class maybe didn't really catch on to, right?
Exactly, yes. And sometimes, and Fran was talking about we go on play-based and the children's interest, and one classroom may be totally different what they like than what our classroom does. Because I have a lot of influence on mine, and I have a farm, we have animals, and hopefully we can do our little petting zoo again this year where we bring animals in, and visit the kids. And, that's something totally different for some of them haven't even seen, a cow or a horse because they live in apartments. They can't even have a cat.
Right.
So, we
Sure.
we do a lot of different stuff.
That's great. Well, it's a wonderful resource that we have here on San Juan College campus and in San Juan County for our families and our students. And we are out of time this morning, everybody. But thank you for coming in. Fran, it sounds like you're pretty full, but if you did have an opening or someone wanted to call to see if there was maybe a slot for their child, could they still give you a call or check on a website somewhere?
Yes, we do have a website on the portal, the San Juan College portal. They're welcome to call the center, and Vanessa can work with them and get them on the wait list. So still call and get on because, some families decide not to take the spot, and so we move on to the next family.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely. And hopefully, if they don't get in this fall, they can get in the spring.
So if we go to sanjuancollege.edu and look for a Child and Family Development Center,
Yes.
that would be the way to find you?
Yes, and there is a link on the portal as well, too.
Right there. Okay, wonderful. Well, again, thank you all very much for the work that you do in the community and on campus. It's great to see you. I will be waving more when I see you out and about with your kids, and look forward to a great fall semester. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Can we bring the kids over and hang out with you?
They
a
can
little
make
bit?
faces outside the window when I'm on the air.
Oh, yeah, we would like that.
There you go. Anytime. Thank you all very much. My guest this morning right here on KSJE. KSJE is supported by Sandstone Productions, bringing live theater back this summer. Saturday, August 7th at 8 p.m., Artrageous, the troupe of artists, dancers, and musicians, featuring the Artrageous Splatter Station, making one-of-a-kind wearable art. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows. Artrageous, Saturday.